know I was gonna be back for a second video, but people seem to like this, so we're doing it again. But this is a books I've read in 2022 because June is kind of like the halfway point of the year. That made no sense. But yeah, I'm just gonna get started because I have to leave the house in approximately 10 minutes. Live, laugh, love. Okay, so the first book I read was This Is Where It Ends by, I'm gonna let you guys read this because I have butchered this name so many times, but I'm gonna read you the short little blurb on the back. It says, told from 4 different perspectives over the span of 54 harrowing minutes, terror reigns as one student's calculated revenge turns into the ultimate game of survival. This book threw me for a loop. I DNF'd it twice. I could not finish it. I could not get into it. And then I was like, okay, I'm doing it. I'm getting out of this reading slump. I'm gonna read it. And I'm so glad I did because this book was so good. It's told from 4 different characters. Tomas, I think is how you pronounce it, because I think he's Latin, Hispanic, something. Claire, Autumn, and Sylve. And the way you find out who's tied to the shooter and how they're all kind of separated but all kind of tied together in some way. Oh my gosh, this book. And I gave this 4 stars out of 5 because it was well deserved. Next book was Turtles All the Way Down by John Green. This book, I was expecting so much and I didn't get it. It was good, don't get me wrong. It was like a solid 3.5 stars, but it could have been so much more. It really could have. I love John Green's writing style though. I love it. The only thing I didn't like was all the random Star Wars references, and I guess just because I haven't watched Star Wars, it didn't appeal to me. But I mean, the book was good. It really was. This book follows Azza and her best friend Daisy, and Azza sadly is dealing with a eating disorder, and that really sucks, but it's cool to see how she gets through it, her struggles, and how she perseveres, I guess is the right word. But a death happens. That's like literally the whole point of the book. Spoiler. And she has to get reunited with her childhood friend, Davis Pickett, and it's about them being little detectives, and there's also, you know, this overarching romance subplot, and it is just such a good book. But I was a bit underwhelmed with the ending, so 3.5 stars. These next few books I read on Kindle Unlimited because I found my mom's old Kindle and I was like, free books, we're trying it out. And I'm so glad I did because the first book I read was Heartbones by Colleen Hoover, and this was the first 5 out of 5 stars for this year. This book threw me for a loop. It was so good. I was so engaged the whole time. I read this on the way to a volleyball tournament, and we went inside like this deli to go eat really quick before heading to the hotel, and I didn't say a single word the whole time we were sitting at the table. I was reading this book on my phone because holy crap, this book is so engaging, and the way Colleen writes and just engages her characters and how they develop and how the plot just completely flips on its head in all of her books, at least the ones I've read. It's just crazy to me, and I love her writing style. But Heartbones, on a summary note, follows Bea and Samson. Those are your 2 main characters, and basically Bea and her family kind of go to they have this like summer island that they go to every year, and Samson is, I don't really know, I guess he was the neighbor. I don't really remember at all. It is very similar to The Summer of Broken Rules. which is also on this list, so we'll get to that at the very end. That's the last book. But there is unexpected death, there is summer flings, there's romance, and there is a huge plot twist. Holy crap. But I wept and cried after reading this book. But on an even sadder note, we have Regretting You by Colleen Hoover. And again, the plot twist in this book, oh my god. This book, if I could give it 6 stars, I could. If I could give it 6 stars, I would. This one follows Morgan and her daughter Clara, and it is 2 perspectives, which I love about books. I love books with multiple perspectives, because I'm always wondering, you know, okay, well, what was that character's internal thoughts? You know, what did that character think? So I really liked that. There is family romance and drama, which is kind of creepy, but it works. There is like forbidden love. And again, the plot twist in this book will make you like have to scrape your jaw off the floor. But that was also 5 stars. Then we have a Wattpad story. Not like your creepy, weird fan fiction, but this author started out on Wattpad and got published on Kindle, and it's on Kindle Unlimited, and I thought that was just so cool. And it is The Upside of Falling by Alex Light. This book was super cute. It was really good to get me out of a book slump. I read this in one sitting, and it follows Becca, who is such a reserved, quiet, introverted little book lover, not very many friends. And then there's Brett, who is the star quarterback. I think he was a quarterback. Yeah, he was a star football player, popular, tons of friends, very extroverted. And in an attempt to kind of, you know, not embarrass the crap out of Becca, Brett decides they're gonna fake date. And it kind of works for both of them because Brett comes from this family where everything just seems like it's sunshine and rainbows, and obviously we find out that his family isn't as perfect as they seem. And as a lover of fake dating tropes, this book was super good. And I don't want to give away too much, but I definitely recommend this as just a quick summer read, and I gave this 4 stars. So yes, we have Prodigy, which is book 2 in the Legend trilogy. I think it's a trilogy because I think the last book is Champion, which I haven't read, but we read these 2 books for my English class, and I loved it. I loved these books. They were amazing. They're sci-fi novels. It follows Day and June. There's 2 different perspectives. There's a ton of love interests within this. But they just go on the craziest journey in this, I kind of want to say post-apocalyptic kind of world. There's a whole war going on. There's like 3 different sides to the war. The U.S. has been torn apart. And these 2 kids just kind of take it upon themselves to save the entire world. And it is so good. These are the perfect books to kind of get you into reading more fantasy and sci-fi novels, because it's not overly like witches and demons and zombies, you know, but it is such a good book, both of them, and I am totally going to get the 3rd one and finish off the series. I have to do the last 2 quick because I was supposed to leave my house 2 minutes ago. So the next book we have is The 4 Days of You and Me by Miranda Kennelly, I think is how you say her last name. This book follows the perspective of Lulu and her school rival Alex. Yes, this is school enemies to lovers, another trope I absolutely fell in love with. And I can't say too much about this book without giving away the entire plot because it's kind of self-explanatory in a way. But I haven't been rating the other ones. The Upside of Falling, I think, yeah, it got 4 stars. Prodigy's 4 stars. And this one's 4 stars. 4 stars is honestly the borderline for me. If it's a good book, it's 4 stars. But yeah, that one was super good. The only thing I didn't like is that Lulu has a love interest, and then she meets Alex, and then that love interest, his name's Jonah, he's never mentioned again. But what I did like about this book is it follows them they take a huge high school trip each year of high school, and so it's the 4 days of you and me. Catchy title. And it was just so crazy to see how their relationship developed, undeveloped, developed, and it was kind of off and on, but 4 out of 5 stars. Ooh, that voice crack. Lastly, we have The Summer of Broken Rules by K.L. Walther. This book follows Meredith, and she's just returning to Martha's Vineyard, which is this kind of, I don't know if it's, I think it's a peninsula, or maybe it's an island. I don't really know. But after the death of her sister Claire, she returns to Martha's Vineyard with her family for the summer. We Were Liars. I love these summer books, though. They're so good. And they all go back because of a wedding. Her cousin, I think it's her cousin. Yeah. And that's where we have 2 families conjoined. How sweet. And then we meet Whit. Oh my gosh. Whit is book boyfriend material, I'm gonna be honest. But there is grief in this book with her dealing with the loss of her sister. But it's also super fun and playful because they get wrapped up in this game they call Assassin, where they basically just shoot each other with water guns, and then they like trade off. Everyone gets a name, and whoever you kill, you get the person's name that they had, and it's kind of that. And she kind of tries to do it to honor her sister in a way. But yeah, that book was a 5 out of 5 stars. I really enjoyed that one. But that's it. There's been 8 books. I'm on book 9 of 20 for this year. I want to do 22 because it's 2022. But 20 is like the limit for right now because I have so much going on with dance. But the book I'm reading right now is Plotting for Murder by Tamra Bauman. It's book 1 in the Cozy Mystery Bookshop series. It's a murder mystery which follows Sawyer Davis, and her mom passed away and left her like all these things, like all these clues on to get a bunch of money. And you kind of start to realize, I'm only on chapter 6, but you kind of start to realize that these things that she's uncovering are all leading her back to her old lover, Dylan Cooper, who is the town sheriff. But I have to go because my mom is trying to get me downstairs. But I will see you guys in the next video, and keep smiling. Bye!